Sell your computer by guitar. Your computer is lying to you. It sells you the promise of infinite creative freedom, but really, it's locked your music in a digital cage. It hands you a universe of possibilities on a silver platter of software, and in return, it quietly steals the one thing that gives music a damn pulse: your soul. We've been told this is progress, unlimited tracks, flawless pitch correction, a million plugins. A gift, right? Bullshit. It's a trap. It's turned musicians into glorified data entry clerks, and our art is paying the price. You can feel it, can't you? That nagging suspicion that you spend more time staring at a screen than actually playing. That your songs sound technically perfect but emotionally hollow. That you're drowning in options but starved of real inspiration. This isn't just a feeling. It's a symptom of a sickness. And there's a rebellion brewing. A quiet analog hum rising to challenge the digital noise. It's a movement called the analog exorcism, built on one simple, powerful idea. Hot tubes, raw riffs, and human imperfection are the only weapons we have against the tyranny of the quantized corporate sound. The digital cage. Let's be honest about what making music in a DAW has become. You open a session. The screen glows back at you. A blank, sterile grid. An empty timeline waiting to be filled. The cursor blinks, and the paralysis sets in. Which of the 30 snare samples do you use? What about the 50 synth presets? Which of the 7 compressor plugins that all promise vintage warmth will actually deliver? Before you played a single note, you're drowning in decisions that have nothing to do with music and everything to do with software. You become a project manager for a song that doesn't even exist yet. The tool that promised to unleash your creativity has become its greatest enemy. It's the illusion of choice. A cage where bars are made of infinite drop-down menus. Forums are filled with producers talking about this exact feeling. Analysis paralysis. The more they learn about the tools, the harder it gets to finish a single track. They hit a wall. The sounds in their heads can't escape because the technology gets in the way. We're losing the ability to just commit. We tweak, we nudge, we quantize, we undo, and then we tweak again, chasing a ghost perfection that was never real in the first place. We're not capturing a performance anymore. We're manufacturing a product when everything sounds the same. And what happens when everyone is locked in the same digital cage, using the same tools, the same sample packs, the same presets? You get the great sonic flattening, homogenization. Studies over the last decade have shown that mainstream pop has become melodically simpler, more repetitive, and louder, with less dynamic range than earlier eras. Streaming and DAWs did open doors for wild experimentation in indie scenes, but the pressure on the mainstream is real. Conform or disappear.arxiv +1. The industry's financial incentives favor what's scalable and algorithm-friendly. They're turning music into an investment product, not an art form. The goal is something that fits a playlist, a TikTok-friendly clip that's easily digested and even more easily replicated. Shrink-wrapped, pre-packaged emotion. The human element is being systematically engineered out. We quantize the rhythm until it has the pulse of a ticking clock. We auto-tune the vocals until every trace of natural humanity is gone. We crush the dynamics until the song is just one loud, flat line. But music isn't about being perfect. It's the slight drag behind the beat that makes something groove. It's the crack in the singer's voice at the peak of a chorus. It's the hum of an amplifier, the squeak of fingers on a fretboard. These aren't flaws to erase. They're fingerprints. They're the soul. Without them, music becomes sterile data. It might be loud, it might be catchy, but it doesn't breathe. Even at the top level, the fragile, unpredictable human element drives everything. Avenged Sevenfold had to postpone their Latin American tour from late 2025 to early 2026 because Shadows suffered a vocal fold hematoma. A tour isn't a line of code you can debug. It's driven by bodies, health, and reality. A voice is a physical thing. It breaks. It heals. It can't be quantized or patched with an update. That messy reality is a powerful reminder of what we should be protecting in our own music. If this idea of an analog exorcism is hitting you where you live, if you feel trapped in that digital cage, hit that subscribe button. This channel is about breaking free and finding the real, dirty joy of making music again. Join the resistance. The Analog Exorcism Manifesto. So how do we break out? How do we perform this exorcism and cast out the sterile digital demons possessing our creativity? This isn't about throwing your laptop in a wood chipper. A modern hybrid studio is powerful. This is a philosophical shift, a change in process priorities and mindset. Analog exorcism rests on 3 core tenets. Tenet 1, embrace limitations. You want to build a custom motorcycle. Do you buy a snap-together plastic kit, or do you grab a raw engine, a frame, and a pile of steel? The kit is easy and predictable. The DAW is that kit. Infinite options engineered for predictable results. A guitar, a cable, and a simple tube amp. That's the raw engine and the steel frame. You've got 6 strings, a few knobs, and your hands. That's it. These limitations aren't a weakness. They're a creative superpower. When you can't scroll through presets, you're forced to pull great sound from the source. You have to play differently. You have to commit. You turn the gain knob, hit a chord, and that's the sound. You're not auditioning 100 simulations. You're wrestling with a real, physical thing that pushes back. That pressure forces you to be a musician, not a software operator. Creativity isn't born from infinite options. It's born from the meaningful friction of a few good limitations. Tenet 2, worship the raw riff. The foundation of a great song isn't a perfectly curated sample library or a flawless vocal comp. It's a great idea, played with conviction. It's a raw, undeniable riff. Before you even think about opening your laptop, the question has to be, is the part good enough on its own? Can you sit in a room with just a guitar and make it feel like it could level a building? The riff is the anchor of truth in a sea of digital lies. If the riff is weak, no amount of production will save it. You can layer 100 tracks, slap on the most expensive plugins, and you're still just decorating a corpse. But if the riff is strong, if it has attitude, groove, and a hook, you've already won. Production should only exist to serve that riff, to lift it up, not to cover its weaknesses. Worship the performance. Worship the part. Worship the raw riff. The song lives or dies right there in that room with your hands on an instrument. Tenet 3. Seek the tube-driven truth. People talk about analog warmth like a checkbox on a spec sheet. It's not. It's the audible evidence of electricity tearing through physical components. It's the sound of reality. When you push a tube amp, it doesn't just get louder. It saturates, compresses, and blooms with chaotic, beautiful harmonic overtones. Those aren't programmed in imperfections. That's physics. That's the tube-driven truth. Digital emulation plugins are getting scarily accurate, and they're incredible tools, but they're a photograph of a meal. An analog device is the meal itself. It's twisting a physical knob and feeling the sound change the air in front of you. It's the happy accidents, the feedback that swells at the perfect moment, the voltage sag that gives a note that filthy, dangerous character. You can't program that. You have to discover it. Seeking the tube-driven truth means choosing those moments of authentic, unpredictable chaos over the clean, predictable comfort of the purely digital. Proof. This isn't just theory. Artists are already living it. You want proof? Look at a band like I See You from the Henderson scene, announcing their 2026 album Environmental Death as a physical-only release, no streaming. That's not just retro marketing. It's a philosophical statement, forcing a direct connection and treating the album as a piece of art, not disposable data on a server depot. So here's the challenge. For 1 week, perform your own analog exorcism. Shut down the computer. Pick up one instrument. Plug it into one amp. Don't even think about recording. Just play. Hunt for your raw riff. Reconnect with the physical, tactile feeling of making sound. Remind yourself that you're a musician, not a mouse clicker. See what crawls out of the darkness when you're free from the prison of infinite choice. The industry sold us a lie. It told us technology would set us free, but it wrapped us in digital chains. It convinced us to trade authenticity for convenience, soul for perfection. We don't have to take that deal. The power to break free has been in our hands the whole time. In the callous fingertips of a guitarist, the steady foot of a drummer, the raw throat of a singer. It's time to take our art back from the algorithm. Stop being a prisoner. Sell your computer, buy a guitar, and set your goddamn creativity free. What's the one piece of gear you own? The battered guitar, the cheap mic, the dusty synth that pulls you away from the screen and actually makes you feel something. Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about the tools that make us feel alive.
Time that you open your eyes and see all the problems you hide. Global disasters arise from all the infected demise. Plastic waste are significant problems that we face. To save humanity is making change. Stop pulling minerals from Earth's rain. Cut down forests, damaging nature. Destroying sources of extra future. Human activities and factories are damaging cause of humanity. Fire, mental, death. Environmental death. Environmental death. Environmental death.